it's relatively easy to do. As Bill said, depending where you're dealing in the chain, there are different perceptions based on understanding, really. But from a fabricator's point of view, with the right specification based around the 427, no problems whatsoever. As easy as buying from a prime source.
I think as a reusable steel manufacturer, we have to make it as easy as possible for people to use the materials and not increase the risk profile and not increase the cost and deliver all the carbon benefits. Really easy when you sort of lump them together. But I think, you know, what we're looking to do are things that we think will help. So we're looking at we have a grading system now, so you can call off our reusable steel on a specification. So instead of it being a bit of a pick and mix, and what do we get, and it's all poured over individually, you can order it according to a grading system from an architectural, from an engineering perspective, so we can maximize the use of all the sections. And then it's around the provision of digital information. How can we get digital models to Nigel so that he can upload them and see where the previous connections have been? And then how does that go into the material and the product and the project passport so that we have that legacy as well? Yeah. So it's a really interesting blend of business as usual. We have to compete with that, but also we need to do more as well to make this stick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I really agree with your point about making it simple. We made it so simple for our fabricator, a relatively small company that subsequently have gone bust, which is a real shame. But
reusable steel project.
I don't think it was. It certainly wasn't our project. But yeah, I mean, we made it so simple for them, and they said, well, we haven't done it before, but we're not worried as long as you give us the certification. If you want this steel, there's no skin off our nose. If you give us all the right certification, all the right, and it's cost competitive, then it doesn't make any difference to us. So between myself and Roy and our structural engineer, they couldn't really say no. And even we were a bit surprised when I turned up on site and it was all there, and you were thinking, well, are we going to get some pushback that we're not aware of? And suddenly you turn up and take the picture on site and it's all there.
I think, just to pick up as well, I mean, it is, as far as I'm concerned, it's our job to make it simple. That's what we're there for, otherwise we're not doing anything. Now, simple is different things for different people. But I think in terms of contractually, you've got to consider when you're thinking about reuse, who is going to be contractually involved. Because I've definitely had 2 jobs where I can guarantee you they've spent more money on lawyers than they have on metal. And I think there's a bit of and there's a bit of a propensity for somebody to say, I'm not really sure how to do this, we'll ask the lawyer. Well, that's like open ticket, happy days. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. In fact, it definitely doesn't have to be that way. So just make sure, goes back to a point I made earlier, be aware of the commercial contractual aspects and just make it fit where the contract should sit.
Okay. I'm feeling very, very self-conscious at this point. But no, I agree with everything that's been said. I think for me it comes down to the perception and the education piece. Yeah. And I'm really encouraged by everything that I've heard so far in the discussion now.